All right, guys, so we are starting chapter 4, but you guys only have a little over a week left to complete chapter 3 assignment. If you guys recall, in chapter 3, we did some photography, some drone work, and you guys are submitting an assignment where you're incorporating water and trees based off the photo competition posted there in chapter 3. All right, so as we're getting into chapter 5, and I need to reword these here, but that's besides the place. We want to make sure from chapter 3 that you guys get your submission and done it right. And if for some reason you do need me to print it off as a 5x7, if you don't have time to run off on Walmart, we're going to walk through that right now. Okay, so what I did, if you see there, I took my micro SD card because I'm actually going to use a picture from a drone, but you can do the same thing with an SD card in there. And I want to make sure I put this into the side of my computer here. All right. And as you're going to see, it's going to pop up. All right, and what I'm going to do, you're going to first upload the picture to your computer or at least get to where it's accessible. So I'm going to click this folder down here in the bottom. All right, and I'm going to scroll down to where I can find what I used, okay? And there is my USB drive, and here is my SD card, okay? I'm going to click on that, and a couple things, right? If you can't see your icons like that, click right here. Make sure you can choose. It makes it easier on yourself if you can just scroll through these instead of looking at them as like the default name like this, right? So I like to change it like the extra large icons or large icons. And, I took and flew the drone up in North Carolina, and I got a couple videos with geese and such. But any of these pictures here, right, where we used and saw trees and water, we could utilize. So what I'm actually going to do is I want to open up, and I want to do this with um, the Adobe here, right? I'm going to use Adobe and not InDesign, Illustrator because I find it easier. So I go ahead and open it up. You can do this in Photoshop too, but I'm going to show you how to do it in InDesign. So when you start off, right, when you first open it up, it's going to kind of look like this, and you're going to make sure you click New File. Okay. Now when you do this, you can see I've already done this previously. You're going to change this, and you can rename this Photo Submission, however you want to do this. All right, but what you want to make sure you do, if choose which orientation you want. But mine, as you can see here, is a horizontal, all right, or landscape orientation. And so what I want to do, I chose landscape orientation, and I want it 5 inches tall and a width of 7. All right, so 7 inches wide, 5 inches tall. And I want to go ahead and I want to click create. But before I do that, remember we are printing this out. So we're going to click CMYK. I'm going to click create here. All right, so now that I've done that, I want to open this up, and now I'm going to simply just click and drag from my folder here, my picture. As you can see the pixelation as we're zoomed in here. So I'm actually going to zoom out. So I'm going to hold down the control key and press the minus. All right, and first thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just go ahead. I want to hold the shift button down so that it will do it to scale, right? If I don't hold it, you see how it will squash it and do kind of weird things. So I want to make sure I hold down the shift key and drag a corner, okay? And now I'm going to keep doing that until it's about the right height. In this case, it is wider, right, than it is there. Now, what I want to do from here, I've got it pretty close, is I want to just choose, I want to drag, I'm going to say I want this top corner in here, all right? And all I want to do now is I want to choose this, so you see how it's selected, and then I want to go over to my right-hand side, I want to choose crop image. I was going to tell you, if we do it, it's going to embed the link, so it does it for us. So we're going to click OK. But now remember, this outline right here, this black outline that we created, is our artboard. It is 5x7. So what we're going to do here is this is our crop area, and I'm going to drag this to the corner there, and you see it won't let me go past, right? It will this way, but not that way. And now what I want to do, I want to make sure I go all the way. You see how it automatically snapped to that ledge there? All right, we want to make sure it does it on that side, and then we're going to drag it all the way across. Now, I'm choosing to do this side because I'd rather cut some of this man-made stuff out, focus on the water and the trees there. And now all I have to do, if I like my cropping, I click apply. All right, and then I can click off of this. I can see it completely fills that 5x7 area. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to click File, Save As, Photo Submission. You can save it as that Adobe Illustrator file. That will be fine. And click Save. Now, The next step will be to safely remove, if you haven't done so already. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to safely remove or to eject my USB drive. I've still already, like I said, I've already saved this. So now that that is done, your step will be to upload it, but I'm going to take you through the next part. All right, the next part now, I've got the cable connected to our color printer. I'm going to plug it in where I just removed my other. And now what I will do for you guys is I'm going to click print. And this time I'm going to choose that I want the color printer. All right. And once you can see here, it is automatically set to that 5x7 there. And then we will take the next step, which is going to be where you guys will actually cut it down to that 5x7 after we print it on printer paper. Okay. All right. That is what we got. All right. We'll get you guys started and rolling when you get to class.